Good evening, sir. How are you doing?
I'm well.
My name is Brooks Bragdon, and I want to ask you to what degree you might be familiar with the concept of a comprehensive plan. Do you know what that is?
I've read the town's comprehensive plan.
Okay. Are you familiar with the fact that Cape Vincent is a predominantly aesthetic community with many views on the St. Lawrence River and the lake?
Sure.
And are you aware that it has many historic preservation properties?
I'm aware there are historic preservation properties in the town of Cape Vincent.
Are you aware that in updating the comprehensive plan, the current comprehensive plan is very similar to the prior comprehensive plan?
I've not compared the current plan to the previous
I just
plan.
want to reassure you that it is. A great deal of time and effort went into it, but it's based on the prior comprehensive plan. It's based on studies and surveys that go back for decades here in the town. It's not something that was invented recently, and it's not something that was in any way altered for current circumstances. The current zoning law was created over a period of months. We sometimes estimated the man-hours that went into it at about 3,500 man-hours. It's very important that that zoning law does not exist on its own. It is tied into that comprehensive plan. This community is certainly a very aesthetic, world-class community, and also a community that's blessed by tremendous historic preservation resources. And that zoning law is intended to protect that. Recently, you spoke with Attorney Curtin. He said, do you intend to take into account the recent zoning law that we created? Your answer, such as I remember it, is I read the law, we evaluated it internally within BP, and we came up with a solution that we consider reasonable. Now, I want you to look me in the face, and I want you to tell me, are you going to come into this community and on the basis of our zoning law or not? If you are not going to come into this community on the basis of our zoning law, we are going to have a complete commitment to an adversarial relation. If you're going to come into this community on the basis of our zoning law, I am personally prepared to work with you. But I want you to answer it, and not in gobbledygook. I want a clear, understandable answer.
Can you please repeat the question?
Okay. Do you intend to come to Cape Vincent within the terms of our zoning law?
We have factored in, we have read through the zoning law, we have factored that in. We want to continue to have a dialogue with the town of Cape Vincent and the town of Lyme to talk about how we can further optimize what we have proposed here. This is by no stretch the final version. That is not what we're proposing by any stretch. This is for discussion purposes. We want to have your feedback on what it is we're proposing. We have looked at the options that are available to us between looking at the Article 10 process. That is the process that we're working to push the project forward with.
I see in relationship to the golf situation that you stand accused of gross negligence, and the corporation is described as having a culture of corporate recklessness. And when you were talking earlier about the Article 10 board and the response they gave you, I almost had the idea that you were just going to make it tweak it or something like that. It comes back and it says, the plan does not adequately address many measures appropriate to a robust public involvement program, and that the PSC finds it to be inadequate. So I'm asking you, please, to cut the bullshit and tell us you're either going to work within our zoning law or not.
We are committed to working with the town of Cape Vincent and the town of Lyme to optimize the project that we have here.
Okay, that project is in extreme violation of our zoning law. It has nothing to do with our zoning law. But I'm not going to try to beat you to death. I'm just saying that has nothing to do with our comprehensive plan. It has nothing to do with our zoning law. Hello?
I'm waiting for a question, sir.
Well, do you have a comment?
I'm here to talk about the project and answer questions that are
Okay.
available, for you to ask and for me to answer.
Okay, I assume that when you say that you've read the law, that you've done an internal evaluation, that you've come up with what you consider to be reasonable from your viewpoint, that's a no, that you don't care about this law and you're going to just try to drive right over the top of it.
We absolutely have cared about the interests of the town of Cape Vincent and Lyme and Jefferson County and New York State, and have factored all that in to what it is that we're proposing.
Well, okay,
We will
fine.
continue to do so.
You know, I think we're capable of being polite while having an adversarial relationship, and that's probably what's going to happen.